The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Wine Vault Radio with Jason Bryant from winevaulttv.com.
Certainly is. Twitter.com/Jason_Bryant as well on Twitter. G'day there, Jason.
G'day, Wammo. G'day.
Golly, what a week it has been, huh?
Huge. With Christchurch. Yeah, so my heart goes out to all those guys down there.
You know, one of the first images that I saw come through was, I think, someone peeking through like a supermarket or a liquor store window and seeing all that alcohol, all that wine generally on the floor, smashed. In fact, someone was saying a river of wine.
A river. Yeah, possibly. Probably up in the Waipara. I know that one, possibly two wineries, like Sandyhurst, had a big tank fall over. A lot of bottles smashed. So, I mean, that's pretty costly.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it's under insurance.
Because
so
we've seen
that. And also Lone Goat, which is just a bit further up, and they probably would have suffered. No one's heard anything. So
I think it's still a lot of stories yet to come out, because we've seen a lot of farmers' silos fall over. So you got me thinking about big vats of wine.
Yeah, and that's obviously my concern. And but the industry down there, the shops, the retail outlets, the supermarkets selling wine. I mean, everybody's affected. So,
well, as it goes with the cycle of in the harvest of wine, was now the best possible time for a winery. You know, it's not during harvest; they're just starting.
It probably is just before harvest, because generally the vines don't get damaged.
Yeah.
But you haven't got all the wine pressed and in barrels and in vats and stuff like that, and you're selling the end of the previous vintage wine, so you've got less wine in your domain.
And the stuff that's should have gone for export mostly is already gone now?
Would have already gone, or would have gone at that stage. Now we've got a lot of stuff that's kind of like being bottled. We've got the latest release of Sauvignon Blanc that's just coming out onto the marketplace. So, I mean, there's a lot of wine about. I mean, if this had happened in Marlborough, for instance, I mean, it would have decimated stock levels, which would, ironically, fantastic for the industry.
Well, and that there is an oversupply at the moment.
Yeah, so it would have killed all that.
Insurance covers that, right?
Yeah, and insurance would cover that, and then a lot of people, it would have got back to a kind of nice equilibrium.
Yeah.
Shh, but don't say I said that.
Because Waipara, lovely and wonderful region.
One of the most exciting up-and-coming wine regions in New Zealand right now.
Yeah. So it'd be good to hear more word of what's happened in that area.
Yeah, absolutely. I only heard one from Sandyhurst, and Black Estate were okay, and a lot of people further north.
There's the Mudhouse, of course, as well.
Which, is a bit further north again.
Yeah.
A lot of those were unaffected. It was the ones that were closer to Christchurch that were affected. And which are the kind of Lone Goats to Sandyhurst, etc. So, fingers crossed that everyone's okay, and that the stories that we've heard are the last stories about danger and damage within the wine industry in Waipara.
You're wearing a T-shirt.
For a very good reason.
Yeah, what is it?
Can people see that? I don't know whether people can see that, but this is the Mr. Vintage Earthquake T-shirt, which is the seismograph done in the Christchurch Cathedral. And there was a lot of controversy over this one with a certain writer for the New Zealand Herald.
So Mr. Vintage was criticised for putting this
initially their press release, the T-shirt was going to go out for $30 and they were going to donate $5, and when really the T-shirt price was $20, they're still donating 25%. And the Herald columnist decided to blast these people for doing such a thing, profiting off the back of a tragic event.
Well, on face value, could look that way.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to get money somehow, right? And without business, people don't have money. And so that's my view on it. I think it's okay to profit on the back, providing that the donation is sizable enough to go down to those people, and so that both parties benefit. And also, what was the columnist doing? Were they donating more money?
Don't know, I'm not going to be drawn into this.
Because I've done it once, and I got really blasted.
Right.
I said for every bottle of wine would donate $2 to the Samoa earthquake.
Yeah.
I got blasted by one individual, the same individual, I wasn't going to speak about this, but now I'm sounding quite bitter about it.
Yeah. Well, but isn't it unfortunate, though, that, okay, this has happened in Christchurch, and then you got a few Aucklanders going at each other about who's doing what and who should be doing, and it's a bit pathetic.
Really, yes, it is. Providing that something's done. We're up here in Auckland and nothing's changed.
Yeah. Nothing's changed, you're right.
Hawke's Bay have had an earthquake, and they're predicting one this afternoon at size 6, apparently.
Hey, who's predicting earthquakes? Come on.
Wellington have had a size 4 earthquake. Obviously, Canterbury have had several... 1,000 earthquakes.
Yeah.
And so, and we're stuck up here, and it's decided to be sunny today, and
beautiful spring day.
Beautiful spring day, and nothing for us. A third of the population of the country has changed.
I tell you what, if you're able to in Christchurch and you really want to get out, I know the Grab a Seat are constantly putting up cheap fares. Come up to Auckland because it's sunny. It's wonderful up here.
I mean, all we've got to worry about is a single eruption volcano. Yeah, right.
I'm living on the side of one. Always, the risk is ever present.
Apart from Rangitoto.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Every other volcano apparently is a single eruption cone, so you're safe because it's not going to erupt there, unless it's a weak kind of fracture point.
Yeah.
Still, so you're safe. Sweet. Let's just sit back, relax, drink wine.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Well, what did you bring in today?
I wasn't going to dwell on the fact that about Christchurch and do a Whiteborough wine and stuff like that, so I decided to do a Marlborough wine from a Gisborne. This is my link. It's slightly tenuous, but there is a segue between kind of like the wine and earthquakes, because the producer is in Gisborne.
Yeah.
And they suffered New Zealand's biggest earthquake, tragedy-wise and fatality-wise. And so that's my... Although this
31.
wine... Yeah, in 31.
Yeah.
Although this wine comes from Marlborough itself. Just like a lot of people, they're deciding that they're going to get a cash cow, and it's Sauvignon Blanc from Marlborough in their portfolio so that they can export wine. And but usually these guys are made a really, really funky Gisborne Sauvignon Blanc and also Pinot Gris. Also, they're doing a fantastic Cabernet Franc. One of the few vineyards or wineries in New Zealand making a straight Cabernet Franc.
Golly, it smells nice.
Does it? I haven't even...
Interesting label, by the way.
Do you know, I actually like it. They used to have quite a dull, boring label. Now they've gone a bit more old world.
It looks old world, looks French.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
It looks French, and then they've got this nice little seal going over the top. But I've got to say, I really like it.
Yeah.
This is the second one I've had, and I really liked the first one. Very typical Marlborough, it has to be said. I mean, there are a lot of wines that... New Zealand Sauvignon Blancs that smell like this. But I like the packaging, and if it gets more people drinking Sauvignon Blanc, I'm all for that.
All right.
So I get that lemon citrus, bit of passion fruit, but also smell a bit kind of dishwasher liquid kind of character.
That could be the glass. Just come out of the dishwasher.
Oh, right, okay.
A little bit lolly-like.
Yeah, there's a candy aspect. Yeah.
Oh, I love this. Wow. What a...
It's fresh.
A little explosion.
This is fresh.
Yeah. Yum.
2010. So it won't have been in the bottle too long.
No. It's not too acidic.
It's not overly acidic. It's in balance. They have used... it's kind of a bit more restrained than normal. But you do get that peachy melon passion fruit character in the mouth. You get quite a big mouthfeel with it. Then you get that spiny back of acid.
Oh man, this is okay. So in Canterbury, get one of those cheap flights, fly up to Auckland, sit in the sunshine, grab one of these bottles, sit back, put your feet up, relax
for 24 hours.
Yeah,
just to get away from it all. I know that I met some people from Christchurch. Well, one woman from Christchurch, Barazza Espresso from Twitter, is doing a coffee thing.
Yep.
She's up here and she talked about the earthquake and stuff like that. She was gracious enough, her and Bexy Lady, to do a Wine Vault TV video during one of the aftershocks. and so I mean, for me, that was a real sense of community. That's what my wine community is all about, and the people that participate in it. You know, that I've got some of the, like Giapo and I have probably got some of the greatest community members in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And we're going to head down to see one of our community members who's in Dunedin Hospital right now with a head injury after skiing or snowboarding. So we're going to fly into Christchurch, drive all the way down and meet people all along the way along.
Cool.
And then come back and do it in a day, and then fly out of Christchurch just to go and see someone, put a smile on their face.
Yeah,
hopefully.
nice.
So,
On you.
well, we value everybody in it.
Yep.
So, and there's a crossover between Giapo and Jason's kind of community. So, you know, everybody's fantastic.
Yeah. And just one final note, I guess, that I want to talk about with the with the earthquake, and the last thing I want to do is trivialise any suffering that is happening at the moment as a result. But thank goodness, as everyone has been saying, no loss of life.
Yeah.
But that gets me to thinking about, well, okay, so how will the event be remembered by future generations, right? And by
architecture.
And let's say in 100 years. It won't be remembered probably so much for the event itself, just because it's just for the nature of the way people remember things. They go, oh, there was 100 lives lost, or there were 1,000 lives, or 1 million lives lost
like
there.
that.
Yeah. And so we look back at the 1931 earthquake as in, you know, a certain amount of people were killed in that. So we're not going to look back at this event like that. And so therefore, what is going to be the defining thing? And it's going to be what happens now. It's going to be how Christchurch rebuilds and what they do with the holes that are left by some of those beautiful historic buildings that are now coming down, that are being destroyed, that are being demolished.
Well, my thing would be, don't employ any Auckland architects because we've got a mess.
Yeah.
They're knocking down all our historic buildings, and I would hate to see Christchurch, because it did have a lot of lovely historic buildings.
Yeah.
Developed the same way that Auckland's been, with lack of foresight. I would like to see them build a proper city, because they've got a chance to restart and build everything from scratch.
And so some people say, well, it's okay. Napier was rebuilt beautifully, wonderfully. Yeah, it was rebuilt in the style of the time, which was Art Deco, which was fantastic.
But we don't have a style.
We don't have a style, but we do have an ethos that we can start instilling into our cities in New Zealand. And Christchurch is the perfect place now to start with this. And it's the sustainability aspects, it's the green aspects, it's the eco buildings, it's the.
I'm not sure Christchurch is ready for that.
Well, that would be an absolute tragedy, because we've got an opportunity right now for a city in New Zealand to be a leader in this part of the world. They're already doing it in other parts. They're doing it in Europe, and they're doing it in America as well.
I don't think we've got enough foresight right now.
Well, we need to.
I know
this is really important. This is really important because in 100 years, we don't want generations to be thinking about this generation, you Wallies. Yeah, but look what you did. You went and built a Rebel Sports like you did down on the Colombo corner of Colombo and Morehouse, which was a big concrete block that no one likes. Yeah, no, but
one of the things is I don't think we've got enough foresight. I don't think our political system allows us that foresight.
Well, that's defeatist. That's really unfortunate.
No, it's not defeatist. I think it's realist.
Well, that's well, surely, but now's the time to step up. Now's for the people of Christchurch to step up and say, we want something better for our city.
Yeah, but people, I'm guaranteeing people won't, because they'll be too busy internalising everything to have a vision other than themselves over the next 3 to 5 years.
Well, let's hope that people can start looking outside of themselves and start looking towards the future.
I could feel the warmth of Fletcher and Fletcher Building and Hogan, Fulton Hogan.
Well, that was my biggest worry. But John Key gave a press conference earlier on this week, and one of the things he said, oh, look, Fletcher Challenge already been in touch with me, and they said they'd get some gangs down here and start working really fast. And I thought, well, that's a big worry. The CEO of Fletcher Challenge has a direct line to the Prime Minister, and tells him exactly what he's going to do. That's a big worry, and that's a big concern, and the people of Christchurch should be worried about this.
On that note,
thanks very much, Jason.
My pleasure.
The WineVault, WineVaultTV.com. We'll see you next time.